Simon from WhatCulture here, ready to give you another dose of the Why series, where we take something topical in pro wrestling and break it down while asking why, damn it, why? With the WWE draft only a hiccup away, it's the only thing on anyone's minds, as very well it should be. It's a huge deal for the company, and the very reason why it could be the thing that saves the WWE. Now, when I say that, I don't mean I think that Vince and friends are going to go out of business anytime soon. Far from it. The WWE in the modern day is the equivalent of the NFL, the Premier League, the NBA, the World Curling Federation. They're massive, and if you think anyone's ever going to come and knock them off their perch, well, I'd start thinking again. The WWE brand has become huge, able to weather most storms and post impressive financials, even when everyone else is jumping off the ship thinking it's the Titanic. That doesn't mean it can rest on its laurels, though. When it comes to the product itself, you always need that creative spark or that shift at the right time to ensure things don't get stale. But that's not just pro wrestling, that's what life is all about. If you love smashing your head into a brick wall, eventually you're going to get tired of it. And then you're going to need a new wall. Probably a new head. While not as doom and gloom as many skeptics made out, there's little doubt that WWE was in need for an injection of something fresh. Hell, they even admitted as much with the start of the new era, where they called up people like Baron Corbin, Apollo Crews, Enzo and Cass, and in many ways, AJ Styles. There's still work to be done with all of these individuals, as should be the way. But it was a conscious decision on WWE's part to shake up the foundations and make Raw feel like a show that was worth watching again. It's the very reason why Shane McMahon was put in control, even though he lost his match to The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Was that a bit ridiculous? Absolutely. But it was a big move at a top level to bring back the intrigue and interest that we all wanted. The brand split is the culmination of all of this. It may have been greenlit because SmackDown needed a kick up the arse, but the pros far outweigh the cons, especially when it comes to the roster itself. When you've got wrestlers fighting for limited spaces on a card, sometimes those that deserve to shine can't shine. We've all heard the term lost in the shuffle, and even the most talented performer can suffer from that. Sometimes it just happens. The draft opens up opportunities for everyone. You can't just stack one show and forget about the other, which means you need more bodies than ever. That allows old favourites such as Tajiri to come back for one last run of the company and lights a fire under anyone who hasn't been called up to the main roster yet. Let's take Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura. The conversation that seems to be going on forever is what's going to happen when they get called up. We all know they've got the talent, and we all know they've got what it takes to make it. But you've always got that small feeling in your stomach that maybe they're not used correctly and their push is stopped in its tracks. Thanks to the draft, this issue has been lessened significantly. Now, I'm not saying that Nakamura is going to get called up to Raw and become the biggest star of all time just because you split the rosters, but it does mean that one, he now has a lot more breathing space to try and stand tall, and two, if it all does go kaput, everyone involved is more likely to try and make it work again. After all, you'd have to be blind, deaf and stupid not to realise how talented the King of Strong Style is. Just needs the right setup, and the brand split allows for that. Admittedly, being asked to watch 5 hours of content in 2 days is a little bit intense. So what's probably going to happen is the fans, that's you and me, are going to pick their favourite show and then watch the other one as and when it fits. But you know what that creates? Competition! If WWE can truly build 2 separate audiences, much like in the WCW days, that's only going to G the other one up. Think about it. You're at work with Sarah, Kevin and John. Now, you hate John, but if someone tells you by teaming up with him and destroying Kevin and Sarah, there's rewards at the end of it, what are you going to do? And admittedly, that analogy makes no sense, but you get my point. In many ways, WWE is the only thing that can be its competition in the wrestling world. No one else comes close. So creating that need to be better between the 2 rosters going head to head is genius. Unless it goes the same way as before, then it's not genius and it's exhausting. No one can say that if WWE had stuck to what it was doing, it would have been a bad move. Good storyline can come from anywhere, but your best bet is always to create a great one. That's what the brand split is, and the draft on SmackDown's first ever live show is probably going to draw a huge audience. Get it right, and a lot of those eyeballs could stay put. So in short, the brand split is vital for the WWE and why it's the best idea possible. Make sure you leave a comment below and then come back in a few months and leave another comment when I've got this whole thing wrong. I'm Simon from WhatCulture, and remember, if you want a hug, go do those shrugs.